Hello and welcome to Ferrari Racing's PCF, the Project Cars Fridays League. It's time for round 9 of 10 at Willow Springs International Circuit, and the title could be decided this evening. There's plenty of permutations that could decide whether the title is clinched tonight, and to be honest, I started trying to work it out and there were just too many variables to get definitions on absolutely every single one of them. But anyway, I'm Ferrari Racing DP. I'll be in the commentary box this evening, and I'll be joined once again, or for the second time today, by Ferrari Racing RI. How are you this evening, Ray?
I'm very well.
Good. I'm
hanging in.
No, I'm hanging out. My zip's broken. No, I'm joking. Okay, going to have a quick run through the standings at the moment, then we'll send the drivers over to the track, and while we're in qualifying, I will go through a bit of the permutations. Okay, we're on round 9 of 10 and the Willow Springs International Circuit. It's the LMP2 cars. Now, Dave the Harp is leading the standings at the moment on 152 points. I'll tell you what, Ray, do you want to give them the tick and send the drivers to the circuit? Dave the Harp leading the way on 152 points. James Hulkenberg is only 5 points behind him on 147. And then we've got a bit of a gap to Hesselden, who's got 117. Those three are in the title fight. Then we've got Neo Tig on 87.6, Mull Ryan on 51, Duo Finn on 45, Woolhouse on 32, Richie Davey on 29, Lielmo McElroy on 21, Driver Montana on 15, Andy Russell on 13, Stringy B on 13, Jonesy on 10, Azamor on 10, GT5 King on 9, and then a couple on 0. A few of the drivers aren't here this evening though, but we have got other drivers filling up the lobby. But Willow Springs International Raceway, I must admit, this is a circuit that I absolutely hate. I do not like this track at all. So I'm glad that I'm not racing around there. Now, Ray, I think you went to go and do a little bit of a test around this track. So how did you get on around there?
Okay, until I came to the balcony and my car bottomed out.
Now, for anyone that's wondering what Ray's on about there, going on about the balcony, it's one of the names of one of the corners. There aren't many corners around this track, and there's even less names for them. But as we're following Beardy at the moment, he's going round what is called the Rabbit's Ear. Turn 1 is the Castrol corner, then we've got the Rabbit's Ear. I will get my words out properly. Then a corner with no name. This I might have to call straight on, because we will see cars going straight on there. This here is the balcony, a horrible corner that just tightens up and tightens up. Now we're into downhill, which is self-explanatory really, and then on to
this one coming up.
This one. Okay, this is Wing's Leg. As we head down the straight, this is Wing's Leg, and then the sweeper. This is a really awkward corner because it starts with a nice curve on it and then gets tighter and tighter and tighter just about now. So this is where we may see a few cars going a little bit wide, because it does just tighten up and tighten up and tighten up. Also, what's going to happen is the drivers are going to burn up their front left tyres. The front left tyre is going to take an absolute hammering around this track. Now, the weather forecast, from what we've been told, beautiful, clear, sunny weather. Not a surprise, we're in the desert. Okay, on to some permutations while we just watch a few of the drivers go around the track, as GBM Beardy is taking part in the LMP2 race for the first time, and off the track he goes. We will see a few drivers doing that. So let's go and pop the camera on Hulkenberg at the moment. Okay, Hulkenberg, second in the standings. If he wants a chance of winning the PCF championship, he needs to outscore Dave the Harp. It's pretty much as simple as that. He needs to outscore Dave the Harp at this event. As for Dave the Harp, Dave can win the title here today, but for Dave to win the title, right, he needs to finish first or second with Hulkenberg scoring no points. So if Hulkenberg doesn't finish and Dave the Harp is first or second, Dave can take the title here. Now, if Hesselden wins and Dave finishes second and Hulkenberg doesn't score, Oh, car in the way of Hulkenberg. That sent him off into the barrier and up the hill towards the fans. They'll all be taking pictures as he parks it next to a lamppost. He will not be overly pleased about that one. Not sure what driver that was. It was Azamort. I think he was having a bit of a moment of his own there. Yeah, so Dave the Harp could win the title here tonight. What some of the drivers might not know, namely Dave and Hulkenberg, is that Hesselden has got his wheel back. It's fixed. And Hesselden needs to win this race. Okay, if Hesselden wins and Dave finishes second, there's 30 points between Hesselden and Dave. Hesselden can't win the title. So Hesselden needs to win and then needs Dave the Harp to not score very many points. The problem is I haven't actually worked out what happens if if Hesselden wins and Hulkenberg finishes second. It'll get very, very complicated as it's getting very, very busy on the circuit at the moment. So yeah, try and get your head around that one, Ray.
I don't want to.
I don't blame you.
I'll stick to my tennis.
The simplest way I can put it is Dave can win the title tonight, but he needs to finish first or second with Hulkenberg not scoring any points. Anything other than that, I won't know until I work the points out later, because it soon gets very, very complicated. I mean, if Dave wins and Hulkenberg finishes second, there'll be 10 points between them with 1 round to go. So the fight would still be on. So yeah, Hulkenberg's challenge, outscore Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp's challenge, outscore Hulkenberg. For Hesselden's challenge, beat the both of them. Okay, who's sitting in pole position at the moment? K-Slay, and he's actually sitting in the pits. Okay, Hesselden, not much between their lap times. Yeah, second with a 105.227. Do you reckon he'll be happy he's got his wheel fixed and back?
I don't know. Did they start on pad, or was he a wheel user to begin with?
No, he was a wheel user to begin with, but at the last race...
he'll be loving it.
Yeah, Monaco. He seemed really out of sorts at Monaco. And we found out afterwards it's because his wheel had broken. So I don't know if he was using a pad at the time or whether he was using a broken wheel, but that kind of explains why Monaco was a bit of a nightmare for him. Richard Avey, he's currently sat in third place at the moment, coming up towards the finish line, perhaps finishing another lap. And improves his lap time slightly, but stays third place. GBM Beardy's gone fourth. Neotig's in fifth and is in the pits. Woolhouse, he's heading up to the start-finish line. Been dropped down to seventh place, but can he improve his lap time? No, he can't. Maybe he's just starting a lap. Stringy B is in 10th. Where is Hulkenberg?
He's third.
Okay, so Hulkenberg's
105.7.
Yeah, he's managed to sneak up into third place then. K-Slay's back out on track, currently sitting pole position, about to start a flying lap. And the laps are very short here, so this race is going to be a fairly frantic one. Oh, K-Slay ran a little bit wide, managed to control it though, really pushing the limits of these cars. Now, I don't know what...
He's just giving the fans a few of these cars. He went right up at the balcony, went right round the square orange barriers and drove round to show the car off.
They're only going to be driving these cars for this race and one more. It has been confirmed that the car that will be used for Season 3 in the PCF is the Lotus D72, or Type 72D, sorry. The old 1973 Formula 1 car, and that is a beast. So yeah, these drivers are only going to get to use these cars for this race and one more. Is K-Slay going to improve on his lap time at all? Currently on a 105.2. He'll be wanting to improve that. And I mean, this is a circuit as well where, by the looks of it, you're probably going to want quite high aeros. Oh, K-Slay with a 104.5. I think that might be a very, very good lap time. But Hesselden, he's heading now towards the, through the sweeper onto the final straight. Got a car ahead of him, could help him with a little bit of slipstream. He's done a 104.9, that puts him second place. Here comes Hulkenberg now. He's now making his way around the sweeper onto, no he's not, sorry, he's on the rabbit's ear. It looks so much like the sweeper. I mean, this is an interesting... It could be a very interesting race, this, because I mean, I would like to think that people like James Hulkenberg, Hesselden, Dave the Harp have worked out for themselves what they need to do in this event. So Hulkenberg, he might not care what happens in this race as long as he beats Dave the Harp. So he might not care if he finishes 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, even 13th, as long as Dave the Harp's in 14th. Okay, now he's going to... So go on.
Joe Vince had no practice on this, and Beardy's had 4 laps practice.
So those
Same
two...
as Elmo.
Same as Elmo. So those 3 might struggle then. What's Hulkenberg's time going to be? He's not improved on his lap time. Might be going for one more. No, he's going off, back into the pits. Dave the Harp now, I think he's going through the rabbits here. He is. He's only on a 1 minute 6 seconds 009. Not quite Bond. More like... Oh, someone smacked a barrier a good in there. Dropped a big cube in the middle of the circuit. I'm not sure exactly who that was. May have compromised Dave a little bit. But he may need to improve on his own qualifying lap, or at least his lap time. Now, one thing I do know about this circuit is it's not an easy circuit to race wheel to wheel at. There is pretty much one race in line when it gets to the apex of some of the corners. So getting on pole position and trying to run away at the start could make all the difference here. Okay, Dave's coming around the sweeper onto the final straight. It's looking quick, but is it? No, he's not improved on his lap. GBM Beardy's in 5th. He's off the track though. Neo Tig, he's in 6th place at the moment. We did follow him for a lap earlier, so we won't follow him for the moment. Now, Richie Davey, he was in 3rd place when he set his 107.229. He's now been bumped down to 7th, so he'll be looking to improve on that lap time as quickly as he can. Now, one thing that will make this race very, very tricky for a lot of the drivers is we've seen it before, haven't we, Ray, where on a very short circuit, a very short lap time, you can quite easily end up in a being lapped situation. And if we have that here today, the race could be absolutely awful to try and keep track with, because there'll be cars all out of position.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see through your view, but this track looks bumpy as hell. It
does look bumpy as hell, and it is bumpy as hell. Richie Davey goes 6th place with a 106.874. Let's have a look at Woolhouse. He's in 8th place on a 107.3, but yeah, it is a very bumpy circuit, especially when the drivers come around the final corner onto the start finish. You can really see the cars bouncing, and that's where it's going to be kind of crucial for the drivers to have got their setups bang on. But Woolhouse, he's banged on the curb. He was very close to wiping out his car on the pit barrier, and he actually spun it into the pit lane, and he's already heading back out onto track. Okay, Andy Russell, he's in 9th on a 107.554. But yeah, I mean, as for the bumps rate, I mean, this is a circuit where you need a car that can ride over those bumps without having much effect on what you're wanting it to do.
Is Casely feeling confident? Because he's not coming back out, he's still sitting there.
Quite possibly. Maybe he's just having a look at what the other drivers are doing on the circuit at the moment, what kind of lap times they're doing. I mean, if he's feeling confident, there might be no need to go back out. But what he will have to remember is the more laps these guys do, the more rubber there is on the track, the faster the circuit could be. Okay, Andy Russell then round the final corner, 107.554 to beat. Can he do it? No, he can't.
He must have held this on the live stream, he's away out.
So, Casely, one to keep an eye on then. Duofin, you can tell he's not had a lot of practice, just taking a little bit of a trip off the circuit there.
Hesselden nearly, he could have collected the pit barrier there. He doesn't improve his time, he was so wide at that last corner.
I tell you what, a few of the drivers are finding tricky on this track is when they're not on a lap, they are very quickly being caught up by other cars. So not easy for the drivers to negotiate at the moment. Now Hesselden on a flying lap then, on a 104.9, ran a little bit wide, needs to be a 104.5 that K Slay has just posted. or should I say posted in the earlier stages of the qualifying session. And Hesselden, he needs to win this one, or at least outscore Dave and Hulkenberg by a lot of points to really try and get himself back into this championship. I mean, let's see, Hesselden's on 117. If he wins, that puts him on to 142, and that's still behind what Hulkenberg and Dave Harper currently sat on. So Hesselden up to the start-finish line then, and he's not improved on his lap time. Casely, he's got a car ahead of him. It's a green one. It could be Lielmo McElroy. It could be Woolhouse. I think Woolhouse is in a red car though. So around the rabbit's ear he's going. Sorry, the car ahead is. They may be on their fastest lap. Oh, it's driver Montana. This has compromised Casely's lap, and he knows it. He's backed out of it now. He may have enough time to still get to the start-finish line and finish another lap. The difficulty for the car ahead was they may be on a hot lap. Now we've got Casely and Hesselden in very close proximity to each other on the circuit. Hulkenberg in third place still with a 105.767. Is he on a timed lap at the moment? I don't think he is. So he's. Oh yes, he will be. He's on a timed lap now. Let's see if we'll see if he's up on his sector 1 time. He needs to be. Well, I say needs to be. He doesn't need to be because he needs to have a better race than the other guys. Qualifying is important, but it's not vital. There's no points for it, and it's not showing me whether he is up or not. But he is continuing on. Okay, we're at a point now.
First two are in their pits.
Okay, first and second, then not going to get a lap in. Hulkenberg is going to get to finish this lap. We're at the stage now where it doesn't matter if the driver crosses the start-finish line. They're not going to get another lap in. But what can Hulkenberg do? Can he find an extra second on his lap time? I'm not so sure. No, he can't. He's found a few tenths, 3 tenths, but not enough to get himself on pole position. Neo Tig, he's got enough time to just about get to the start-finish line, possibly, but his car's looking like it's been through the ringer a few times. As Ray shows off his dodgy ringtone. Neo Tig, 6th place.
He jumped Richard David there.
Okay, so he did manage to gain a place there. So, pole position, Casely, Hesselden 2nd, Hulkenberg 3rd, David Hart 4th, GBM Eddie 5th, Neo Tig 6th, Richie Davey 7th, Woolhouse in 8th, Andy Russell in 9th, Azamort 10th, Driver Montana 11th, Duo Finn 12th, Stringy B 13th, and Ray, I think we have lost Lielmo McElroy. If you want to try sending him another invite. Okay, we're now into a 5-minute warm-up session. This is just for the drivers to get their cars ready for the race, get their race fuel in, get their tyre strategy sorted out, so that when it comes to doing their stops, all they have to do is drive in and out.
It says he's loading, so I've sent him another invite just in case.
Well, hopefully he will be able to get back in with us. Now, I must admit, I mentioned it on the FRI Days live stream earlier about connectivity. And the first thing that we would advise people to do if they're having problems with connectivity is... Interesting, I've been disconnected, Ray. Could you send me an invite, please?
I will do.
Yeah, I was talking about connectivity. Yeah, is to make sure that you are hardwired. Now, admittedly, I am hardwired. But yeah, I know Lielmo McElroy does tend to struggle quite a lot with connectivity.
So he comes back in and you bugger off, is that?
Did he manage to get back in then?
I can't get to invite you back in.
Oh, you're joking.
Wait, no, I can't.
Right, hang on a moment. I'll see if I can join you through the chat party. No, it says failed to join the game. The multiplayer session is full or no longer available.
Wait there. No. Does somebody try to get in 3rd place? That might be you. 1,
no,
2, 3, 4.
No, it's not letting me join. It's saying the session is full or no longer available. That is an absolute joke, Project Cars. The session is not full. It is available. There is a space there. You should just be letting me back in. Or is it definitely...
All drivers need to go out
is
to
it
the track because your position's going down. You're still in fifth. You're in fifth place at the moment, and you're going down order.
Well, I'm not at the track, so...
It says you're in the garage to me.
Right, hang on a second. There's not a lot I can do, to be honest. If it's not going to let me in and you can't send an invite, there's absolutely bugger all we can do about it. See, try again, Ray, see if it will let you send an invite.
Okay. Multiplayer. Yep. That's in. It'll let me vote to skip to next session.
Okay, Ray, jump out of the lobby, please, mate, and we'll get them doing a warm-up session and a safety car restart. Okay, I'm just going to shut the live stream down for a few moments. I will be having it back up in a few seconds' time. And for anyone that feels like it, go onto the Project Cars forums and moan like hell about the fact that there is space in the lobby, but it's saying that it's full.